Monica, the other category of people who are seriously affected by this are the elderly, the senior citizens, and this is also the time when you would want to go and help them. You'd want to reach out to your parents. You'd want to reach out to your grandparents. Instead, you're stuck in your homes, and they have to fend for themselves. They are learning things around the house. They are learning about technology, but at the same time, not only is there problem of loneliness with them, but also age related health issues, so there is that insecurity. They are dealing with a lot more than you and me. What is it that you can tell them? How should they be dealing with this?
So elderly are people are very important people for us as support systems. They have always looked after us, and we have engaged with them, and we've always gained from them. So they are wise community that we are dealing with, right? But on the other hand, they already have a lot of anxiety about their own health and survival, and what is happening is very new for them. So let's not add on our anxieties to them. If we are feeling anxious, if we are feeling fearful, if we are uncertain about certain things, telling them and is not going to help. Rather than what you do with your children, that the calmer you are, the children feel calm. The calm you are, the elderly also feel more safe around that. So give them information because they also need information. Let them be connected with the social media because they can connect with you. Speak to them regularly because they need not only love and empathy but also your concerns. When you share with them, they also feel good. They don't want to be thinking that they are no longer any use to you. So it's
Yeah.
important for them to be useful to us and handle their medical emergencies as and when they come normally and naturally as you would deal otherwise.
Mm. Okay, now financial uncertainty. That is one thing that people all around the world are worried about. People in this country are dealing with a lot more. You and I can talk about it, but we know what's going on. Uh, for people who have lost their jobs, people who've seen pay cuts, people who are unsure of whether financially they're going to be secure post this lockdown, how should they be dealing with this? Because this is a real situation where their struggles are real as well. This is not something that's just completely in your mind, it's not made up. So what is it that you suggest to them to deal with this problem?
Yeah. See, there are two, three things which are important to know. One is the men. And this whole responsibility on the head to be the provider, and wanting to not share that burden with the family because they will feel it is the end of the road. But I think it's very important in these times to connect with the family, talk about the burdens which are disturbing you, look at realistic situations, what we have, what are the savings that one has made, what is it that one needs to do to move on. So that's for the people who are in a small scale industry, that we already have savings for a few months and we can survive, and you are not the only one who is going through it. The world is going through it, so there has to be a recovery. When you talk to your family, solutions come. The others pitch in, and you are able to see what is the realistic way of taking that forward. On the other hand, you are not the only one, like I said, who is going through it. The world is going through it. So at that point, what can you do? You cannot change things outside, but this is the time to spend time with yourself, engage in some hobbies, engage in things that needs to be done, rather than live in this worry about the financial stress always. Uh, so that's one part. The other thing is that the young people who are at job, who fear the loss of a job, and what is it? So they're also, I think, making a new resume, looking into what is it that is there a fix, is there a right match between the job that you're doing, or is there a change that you were seeking? These are the times which are reflection times, and that can be a very fulfilling process too. But just don't live this thought 24/7. There are other aspects of your life that complete you.
Mm. You talked about children and digital screens, Monica. How should parents feel less guilty about it?
Uh, So one is to deal with the guilt, and the other is to actually do something about it. In both ways, I think we have to find out what we are seeking.
Right.
One is that right now is not the time to feel guilty. I
Guilty.
mean, everybody is going through their stress, and children are going through theirs. And if they're overdoing certain things, it's all right. They are also enjoying your company. They are enjoying the parents' attention. They are enjoying the safety of the home. They may not be so aware of the outside space, but you need to nurture them and give them some bit of freedom to make certain alterations in the regular routine they would have. On the other hand, like when the physical lockdown started, we all initially, 1 week was very disturbing for all of us. We didn't know what to do, how to
Right.
handle it, what was happening. Then we gradually, all of us started setting our routines. We
Sure.
know this is our work time. This is the time when they have their class. My clients tell me that morning 9 to 11, their kids need
Online.
the online classes are going on. Can we have a session post too? So we all are adjusting our time to adapt each other and accommodate each other, which is fine. I mean, I think a routine a good time to sleep and not altering your sleep cycle. If you are able to manage the basics, rest of the things I think you should let go of.
Okay, we talked of one thing, Monica, of how people who are staying alone, how should they be dealing with loneliness? In contrast, what about people or couples rather who are at home and at times finding this constant 24/7 togetherness
Right.
slightly strenuous on their relationship because you actually have no space to go out and let off some steam.
Yes, we all have heard that the domestic violence cases have increased in the lockdown, not only in our country but outside also, because one of the factors is that there's so much of physical conformity with each other
Exactly.
that there is no space to go out and normalize within, you're bound. So obviously, while the emotions are intense, the fears are intense, and expectations from each other is also intense.
Yeah.
And you're looking into the other's behaviors and patterns very, very observantly.
Mm,
Then what happens is that you feel that and you start analyzing the marriage or the relationship, because you also have time to analyze that, right? So what we see is that if there is a heightened criticism, if there is a very high expectation, if there is a kind of opinions on every small task and interference in a every small task and judgments,
yeah.
people find it very difficult to deal with, because once the bottle opens, the whole gin comes out.
Mm,
I think one has to understand that not only that your partner needs free space, you also need free time. So if you can tell each other that this is my time, me time, where I am reading my book, where I'm engaging in my hobby, where I'm doing my office work, or and you are free to have your me time. It's not
yeah.
that we have to be on each other every minute of our life. And also respect the other person's habits, respect the other person's needs, respect that he or she can have mood swings, and it is not every time directed at you. The person is coming from the insecurity of a job, the person may be coming from an insecurity of being a good parent, the food which is cooked. There are so many insecurities and thoughts around us that it is not always stemming from the partner. So don't personalize that and live and give each other space.
I just think that you and me we're fortunate to be where we are in this situation, of course, and that's where we can have this conversation. But at the same time, I just thought that this was a way where we can reach out to people who've been suffering mentally because of this. Because even if they're confined at home,
Right.
Monica, they are there are issues, there are problems, and that I always feel that mental health is as important as physical health, if
Yeah.
not more,
Yeah.
and that doesn't get addressed very often. So
Right.
I just thought that this was,
No, I mean,
I just thought it was a small way of just helping everybody out in whatever way we can, because there's just so much I can do sitting at home. So thank you so much for just taking the time out, and you've put it really well. I've always loved talking to you because of just how practical you are in your approach to life, but at the same time, how calming your words are, and So I just thought that this was lovely, and I hope this can be helpful to people because right now people need it.
Thank you so much, Meha, for having me on this. I think it is great to tell people, I mean, to connect like this and reach out to more and more people.
Yeah.
You very rightly said that mental health is important. The more we speak up, the more we actively seek out help and support people who have mental health concerns, uh, we will be able to manage this better.
Absolutely. And in fact, I will have the description of Manas Foundation. She's the head of that. All the details will be in the description box below for everybody. But thank you once again, Monica. And yeah, thanks once again. That's all I
Thank
can
you.
say.
We are offering free counseling services to anybody who wants to reach out, and
Lovely.
we are willing to provide any support in mental health that we can. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.